Hey, what's up, Knife Tube? It's Diamond Cut Steel, and you guys are going to learn something today. And what you're going to learn is what is my number 1, 2, and 3 out of these 8 easily picked up on Amazon budget knives. All these knives run between $30 and $60. They can easily be found on Amazon, picked up on Prime, and all of them will fall between that range. On these best of videos, what I'm going to do is each one is going to be within that, say, 25 to 60 price range. Or better yet, we'll just say 60 or less. Any one of these knives can be readily found for $60 or under on Amazon and many other knife sites. So, I'm going to go over these 8. Sorry about moving the camera. I'm going to go over these 8 with you guys. I'm going to pick out my top 3, and I've got a wild card for you, just like I did on the last one. So, I'm going to give you my experience with each one of these knives, and I'm going to pick my top 3 out of these 8. We're going to do that with this set, and then one more set, and then we're going to take the top 3 knives from all the sets. So the number 1 finisher from each of the 3 sets, and then we're going to put them against each other and pick out what is, in my opinion, the best knife in that price range that can be bought on Amazon. So, right here we have the Civivi Thug 2. It will be in Nitro V. Right here we have the button lock Elementum, the original one, 14C28N. The Petrified Fish Flavorist, K110. An oldie but a goodie, the Kershaw Chill, 8CR 13 MOV. The Gerber Pledge, 7CR 17 MOV. I do not know the name of this knife. It's made by Pickled Steel. Can't think of the name of it offhand. It's something strange, like the Kappa Bolo or something like that. Something that starts with a C. The CJRB Frac in RPM 9, and the Kaiser LP in 154 CM. Like I said, any of these knives, $60 or less on Amazon. Pick them up right now and have it to you in a day or two. So, each one of these knives I have a lot of experience with. I've used all of them quite a bit. Had them all for quite a while. All fantastic knives. So we're going to start left to right, and we're going to start off with the Thug 2. This right here, you have a traditional style Tanto. That is a compound grind, so you get a nice flat up here and a nice thin hollow down here. Hell, is that I can't think. Is it the Tantos with the belly that are the traditional Tantos? A traditional Tanto, that don't make a lot of sense. A Japanese style Tanto, I should say, or an American style Tanto. Hell, I don't know. Anyways, you got this nice Tanto front that's kind of got a belly to it with a flat grind, and then again this real thin hollow grind on this straight section right here. This knife is small, quite compact, fits in the hand nicely, and this thing is more capable than you believe. It actually makes for a very good pocket knife. It's very slicey, yet there's enough meat at the tip that you know you're going to have some strength. You also have a nice belly for rocking cuts, and a push cutter's delight with that thin hollow. It just really glides the material nicely. You have deep carry clip, of course, G10, thumb studs, typical snappy Civivi action, solid lockup, full liners. Everything about this knife is pretty good. The Nitro V, if you get a good one, it's done pretty decently. these are great little knives for around, you can pick them up for $55, $59. It's a knife that don't get a lot of love, but in my opinion, it's one of the Civivis that really deserves a lot of love because it really is a great design. The Civivi Thug. Now you have a very controversial knife with the original button lock Elementum. A lot of people were very mad because the blade locks in as well as open. You have to push the button to open it. So it's more of like a gravity knife. I actually really love this knife. It doesn't bother me a bit that it locks closed. You know, I'm not a fidgeter, so it's out of the pocket, button, open, finished work, doing what I'm doing, closed. Bingo, done. On this knife, you have much longer than the typical Elemental blade. It's definitely a bigger knife. You know, this is XL hands, plenty of room. You can get right up on that blade. You have a nice hollow grind. This one actually has a lot of edges on it. It's been used quite a bit, been sharpened plenty. You have slick micarta. This is not very good micarta, but it's when Civivi first started working with it. You got the typical loop over deep carry Civivi clip. Ain't pretty, but it works great. You got full liners. You got a plunge lock that's actually done pretty well, so it's nice. It's pretty strong. This is a pretty stout plunge lock. It's a little bit different design than your typical plunge lock, but overall, this is a very nice knife, a very nice work knife. It slices really good. You've got a nice thin point, but you've also got a little bit of meat up there, so you know it's gonna do what you ask of it. It's in 14C. It's pretty well done. Don't expect great edge retention out of it, but I'm sorry, my camera don't want to focus unless I've got the blade like this. Anyways, awesome knife. You pick these up for around $50. The Elemental button lock, the OG one, awesome knife. Now here we have the Petrified Fish Flavorist. Not sure who comes up with these names, but it is what it is. You have a deep carry loop over pocket clip. Again, ain't pretty, but it works. You got pretty good micarta. The micarta Petrified Fish uses feels nice. It's a front flipper, but it's got a good detent. Don't think it's got a weak detent because of what I'm doing, but you can reverse flick it if you can get a little bit of bite on that, on the lip right there. But it's a good front flipper, a well-designed front flipper. It flips nicely, opens up quickly. This is in K110, and Petrified Fish does a really good job on this K110. I have never had anything other than good things to say about it. It always performs very nicely, and when you factor in what you're paying for it, you're getting a lot of performance for your dollar. This knife has been used quite a bit. It's still in beautiful shape. It's about probably on its third or fourth edge, and you know, geometry is still pretty nice. You have a nice tall flat grind. You know, it's at about probably 20 thousandths right now. So a reasonable geometry. It slices nice. It don't thicken up too quickly, but yet it's a nice stout blade. So you know, you can really put some work on this bad boy, and it's going to take it. You got very neutral ergonomics, so it sets nicely in the hand. And yeah, it's just a work knife delight. Very good push cutter. Just, you know, a very serviceable blade shape. There's nothing, and it's a very lightweight knife. There's nothing bad that I can say about this knife, except its funky name. The name is funky. You got a little bit of a, you know, a decorative, what do you call these? Can't think of the name of it. Anyways, you got a decorated rod that they drilled out and pressed in there. So it's, you know, just a little detail that something to look at. But overall, very, very good knife that you can pick up for around 50 bucks. Now here's an oldie but a goodie. It would be the Kershaw Chill. It's in G10, steel liners. It's on washers, plastic washers, but got a nice snappy action. Believe it or not, pretty smooth. If I can get it past the detent. Pretty smooth once you break it in. You got a nice, long, sticky blade shape. Comes down to reasonable behind the edge thickness. It's probably around 20 thousandths, something like that. You got a saber type grind. It's very lightweight. Again, neutral ergonomic, so it just kind of sets in the hand nicely. You get a full 4-finger grip on it. It's a really good work knife with a very classically serviceable blade shape. Nothing special about this knife other than it's a good knife. It's 8CR, yes, that's a fact. Don't expect no great edge retention out of it, but the edge retention is serviceable. It touches up very quickly. It strops back easily. It locks up nice. You have no blade play. It's rock solid. And it just carries very nicely. And it's so lightweight. I have a couple of these. This is a brand new one. But it's one that I'll always keep a new one on hand, because I either give them away or lose them, you know, or whatever. So I always keep a backup new one on hand just because I love this design so much. The Kershaw Chill really is a great knife. You pick these up for like 30 to 35 bucks. I know that's getting a little expensive for 8CR, but it's a good knife. And it's been around for a long time, and it's an awesome design. I don't know what else to say about it. It's an awesome design. I love the Chill. Here you go. One that does not get nearly the attention that it deserves. And I know you're going to say, oh, it's Gerber. And I get it. The Gerber Pledge, is a hell of a good knife. And I've seen these down at $15 on Blade HQ. You pick them up for $20, $25 on Amazon if you catch them on sale. They're normally around $30, but I've seen them on $20 on Amazon. And this for $20 is a hell of a knife. A hell of a knife. In my opinion, it's worth $30. I don't know if I would personally pay $30 for it, but I'd say it's not a rip-off at $30, but that's the limit. At $20, $25, this is a steal. You got nice neutral ergonomics. It's going to fit anybody's hand nicely. It doesn't try to put you in the position it wants you in. It's comfortable however you hold it. This knife has a fantastic action, and I've had 2 or 3 of them, and every one of them do. Nice snappy detent. Flip this thumb bar around to the other side. It reverse flicks like beautifully. You can also thumb flick it off the screws. Slow roll it out. Whatever you want. But nice snappy action. Really crisp detent. And even though it's on plastic washers or Teflon washers, it is very, very smooth. And rock solid. Absolutely no play in it. I love this knife. I love the Pledge. It's why I've had, I don't know, hell, I've probably had 5 of them. Probably got three or 4 right now. Yes, it's in 7CR 17 MOV. So don't expect a lot as far as edge retention, but I say that with the caveat of, guess what? It's very, very responsive to a strop. It touches up super easy on a ceramic rod, and when it's time to sharpen it, it sharpens very, very nicely. I have no complaints about how this steel's done. It's always sharpened good for me. It deburrs nicely. Everything about this knife is good. Very, very useful, serviceable blade shape. You got nice, long, pretty much straight cutting edge. You got this reverse tanto style or sheep's foot style tip. It's really good for utility cutting. It also makes a nice push cutter. This is just a good work knife. A good, cheap work knife. It carries nicely. It's pretty thin. Lockup is perfect. It's at around 45%. You got reversible pocket clip. Not a deep carry, but for me that's a good thing. I prefer not a deep carry. This is a perfect pocket clip. Slides in and out of the pocket nicely. And it's secure. I don't know what else you can ask for. And guess what? If you break one, snap a tip, sharpen the blade until it's up to here and it's too thick. Guess what? All you gotta do is put in a Gerber request, and they'll send you a brand new knife. And I know that because I've done it quite a few times. Their warranty, it takes about 6 weeks, but their warranty, you'll get a brand new one in the mail, guaranteed. Now, this is a funky knife. I don't know the name of it. I know it starts with a C. I am not sure, but it does start with a C. It's made by Pickled Steel. It's ugly. It's very ugly. I'm going to start off by that. But I'm going to tell you this. That blade shape, much like my Norseman's, with some use, you'll learn that this is a very useful blade shape. You got this nice recurve right here that just grabs material, pulls it in, and cuts. But you also got this tip, this front section that makes it great for scraping. You got a little belly there for rocking cuts. You got somewhat of a second point that you can you use to cut tape or whatever. This is just an all-around useful blade shape. It's ugly, but it's very useful. Now, this is not a hard to sharpen knife, so don't automatically think that. Yeah, it's a different blade shape, but it's not a difficult blade to sharpen by no means. It's just, you gotta go at it a little different than you would a more traditional style blade shape. There's two problems with this knife. This right here, number one. Look where it's at. In the grip the knife wants to put me in, and look where it's at. That's uncomfortable. If you try to get up like that, it's just not natural, but it's still a pretty good user knife. And I don't like the handle. That's my main problem with it. I don't like the handle. If this wasn't here, this knife would be a much, much better knife. Aside for that, though, it's got a good action. And the mic is nice. It feels nice in hand. It's rock solid. There's no blade play. Absolutely rock solid. No up and down play. Here's another problem. You got like 80% lockup, and this knife hasn't seen a lot of use, nor a lot of flicking. Now, I don't know if that's common, but this one, and I've heard a couple other people say theirs had, late lockup. So that may be something to watch out for. This right here, main problem. And the D2 is a little on the soft side. Still performs decently, but it is ran a little soft. So, Pickled Steel, run your steel a little bit harder. And stop trying to make knives look cool, and make ergonomics feel nice in hand, not look cool. Because this don't even look cool, and it's super uncomfortable. It could be a pretty nice knife, but that really hurts it. This is the designer's name, Mr. Hetzel. Stop doing stuff like this. It's pointless. Well, it's not pointless. It is a point, and it's an uncomfortable point. All right, here we go. We have the CJRB Frack. It's a button lock, stainless steel, plunge lock style button lock with frag pattern stainless steel grips. A big honking blade of RPM 9. Believe it or not, this knife's very comfortable in hand. It's a big knife, you know, so if you got big hands, you're going to love it. You can get up here on this choil. It's very comfortable in many different holds. No matter how you hold it, it's pretty much comfortable. Of course, it's got an excellent action. CJRB really knows what they're doing with their plunge locks. You know, its action's great. You got this nice tall flat. Comes down nice and thin behind the edge. It's probably about 18 thousandths, something like that. This is a new one. I have the black one, the PVD coated one. It's had some pretty good bit of use, and I've actually liked the knife. They come with, you know, CJRB standard loop over pocket clip. I just threw a tie pocket clip on here because I had it laying around. As far as a big knife, this is, you can pick the non-coated one up for $60, $59.99. And this is a lot of knife for $59. And the geometry of this knife makes it excellent. You know, you got a nice slow sweeping belly. It's good for a great many tasks, and it push cuts through cardboard and stuff like butter. Decent. You do got to get a little high up on, you know, to get to that tip. You're up pretty high, but it still makes a decent knife for utility type cutting. This is an all-around good work knife. The button lock hasn't given me any reason to doubt it. It's been solid, at least on the other one. This one feels solid too, so I don't have any reason to doubt it, but I would never trust a button lock too much. And if you need a big work knife, this could be a excellent knife for you for $60. Now, there is one downside to it. It's a big knife. It's stainless steel all the way around. It's heavy. You know, it's a chunk. But if that don't bother you, you've got a lot of blade here with a lot of sharpening life. Now, I will say this, for as big as the blade is, you do lose a lot of cutting edge with the way they done this choil. You know, you probably only got about 3.5 inches of cutting edge when you probably would have had more realistically like over 4. So, you know, keep that in mind. But that's still plenty of cutting edge. And it does come down nice and thin, so it's going to slice good. The Frack is just an awesome knife. It's a good design. There ain't really nothing that I would complain about on the knife other than their RPM 9 is kind of it's not that great of a steel. It's okay. I would rather it just be in D2 that's decently done. But that's me. You know, your mileage may vary. But I would rather have this in, like, say, K110 that they actually do decently. Say they run it at 60, 61. I would take this in K110 over RPM 9 100% of the time. In fact, I might even pay $10 more for it in K110 because I do like the knife. Here we have the Kaiser LP. This is a very slept-on knife. I don't think they sold too well for Kaiser because I've never talked to anybody who's bought one. And I don't know why. Everything about this knife is done very well. The action, typical Kaiser, excellent. Super butter smooth. Like absolutely butter smooth. A very dialed detent. It's nice and snappy. Again, neutral ergonomics. Sets nicely in the hand. Choke up on the blade, no problem. How the knife wants to position you is right here. Very comfortable for a work knife. Very, very, very comfortable. You have this nice straight sheep's foot blade. Look how you don't got to get up very high at all to get to that tip. This is a push cutter's dream. Comes down nice and thin. Again, probably like 19, 20 thousandths. I'd say about 18 on a new one. This one's had 2 or 3 edges on it. G10 scales, steel liners, ceramic bearings, nice detent strength. It's perfectly dialed for this flipper. You're not going to fail this knife. I can tell you that. Forget about it. You're not going to do it. You got a steel loop over deep carry clip that is reversible. And it's just a very serviceable, user-friendly work knife. It's in 154 cm, and Kaiser does their 154 cm very good. I have been somebody who has really spoken highly of Kaiser for the heat treat that they do on 154. It is excellent. In fact, I think they're doing the best 154 cm that you can buy right now on the production knife market is done by Kaiser. They figured it out. Okay, so out of these 8, which one am I? Top 3. What am I going to pick? Okay, this is, believe it or not, a pretty tough. This is a pretty tough pick right here. This is going to be a tough top 3 for me. In third position, I am going to. Which one? I am going to go. I want to go frack, but I also want to go. Believe it or not, I want to go pledge. I have to go pledge. Yeah. Third place, I'm going to have to put the pledge. And that's a tough one because I really like the frack. Yeah, I guess that's what I got to do because that's the knife I would rather carry if I'm out working. Out of the 2, this is probably what I would choose if I had to go with either or. Yeah. Let's put it this way: if you pick up a pledge for 20, 25 bucks, 100% you're gonna love that knife. As a work knife, you cannot not like that knife. It is just good. So we're gonna pledge number 3. Number 2. This is a really difficult pick again too. For number 3, I'm going to have to go. I'm going to have to go Flavorist. And that would be over the OG button lock Elemental. And I really, really enjoy carrying this and using this as a work knife. That's a really tough one. I guess I would have to go Flavorist just because I much prefer the K110 to the 14C. It's a much better performing steel. 14C just don't hold an edge long enough for me. Okay. Number 1. And this is by a large margin. It's going to be the LP. The LP by a large margin is number 1. This knife literally blows all 8 of these, or 7 other of these out the water. It's a better knife in design. It feels of much higher quality. It is a fantastic cutter. It's an excellent work knife. It carries beautifully. It's not overly heavy, but it's got enough mass to it to feel like you've got something substantial. That blade shape is brilliant. It just fits the type of cutting that I do to the T. And It's in Kaiser's 154 CM. And Kaiser really hits a home run with their 154. You get superb edge retention for what this knife. You can pick these up for around 40 to 45 bucks. 40 bucks usually on Amazon is about what I see the LPs at. This knife for $40 is practically untouchable in my opinion. It's as a work knife, this thing's just damn tough to beat. It's so comfortable in hand. There's no hot spots. You know, you got XL Hands has got just enough to be able to get a full comfortable grip on it with how the knife wants to seat you in the grip. It carries comfortably. Like I said, it's not overly heavy, but yet it's heavy enough to have, you know, a nice stout premium feel to it. You have that beautiful sheep's foot blade. Comes down nice and thin, so it's going to slice extremely well. You can guarantee that you're going to get excellent performance from this 154 CM. I own a lot of Kaisers and 154 CM, and I've never had one piece that did anything less than please me. It's always good. It sharpens nicely. It holds an edge excellent. It touches up, you know, super easy. Couple passes on a ceramic rod, plenty of bites back in the edge. It strops back nicely, and on the stones it sharpens beautifully. The Kaiser LP is definitely one you should check out. This is a absolute banger of a work knife. So this is my number one. And again, that would be by a long shot. By a long shot. And now for the wild card. This is a knife that you can pick up on Amazon right now for I think $22. I've seen it at 22 and 24. So it's 22 and 24. There's 2 listings on there for it. And you could have got it for, I believe, $13 on Midway. And no, it's not the range boss like you're thinking. It is the Cold Steel Verdict. It's in 4116 stainless. You have a nice stone wash. This is, you got the triad lock, of course. Nice light FRN that's very comfortable. This is an ergonomic masterpiece. This knife just sets in my hand so beautifully. You got that rock solid triad lock. Of course, it's absolutely like a rock, no play, but yet it's nice and smooth. You can reverse flick it, you can thumb flick it, you can slow roll it, whatever you want, no problemo. You got a nice deep carry pocket clip. It's got good tension on it, but not too much, so it slides in and out of the pocket nicely. The FRN on this knife is nicely textured. It ain't going nowhere. It's locked in your hand pretty nicely, but the texture is not too severe to where you can't get it in and out of your pocket. You got this lovely blade shape. Comes up to a nice sticky tip, but you actually have a little bit of meat at the tip. You got a little bit of meat up there. 4116 is actually, Cold Steel really has it dialed in. Their 4116 performs pretty damn nicely. Surprisingly, actually, it's surprisingly good. It gives a lot of your typical budget steels, even when they're well done, a real run for their money. From my testing, it ain't very far off of like your Spyderco's and 8CR 13 Mobi. Maybe 10 as far as edge retention and cardboard cut test, maybe 8 to 10% difference. It'll outcut most 8CR on the market. It'll give a lot of, believe it or not, it'll give a lot of the D2 out there a decent run for its money. And this stuff, what I love so much about Cold Steel's 4116 on their Taiwan made stuff, and keep that in mind, this is a Taiwan made knife, not China. What I love so much about the 4116, this stuff gets so crazy sharp you can't believe it. You finish this edge at like on like a 800, like a Chosera 800 or a Shapton Glass 800 or something like that. I mean, not a Shapton Glass, but a hell, I lost my train of thought. Like a Shapton Glass 500, Shapton Glass 500, Shapton 1000, Chosera 800, DMT 600, somewhere in that range. And this steel comes up so crazy sticky. Like even with this quite aggressive factory edge on it, this edge is so sticky. So freaking sticky. When Midway had these on sale for, I think, $13, I bought 5 of them. I have used the hell out of these things over the years. I have never had anything but great things to say about them because they've always performed superbly. And again, this steel sharpens up beautifully. It gets crazy sticky sharp. Like, if you want a steel to learn how to sharpen, to get to get your first hair whittling edge on, this is the steel to do it with. This 4116 at like 1,000 grit gets so crazy keen you cannot believe it. And when it starts to fall off, a few passes on a ceramic rod, it's right back. It strops very nicely. It touches up super nicely on a ceramic rod. When it's time to sharpen it, it sharpens very, very nicely. Doesn't matter what the abrasive is, just a plain old aluminum stone, and this stuff sharpens beautifully on it. Everything about this knife is excellent, and that you can pick these up for under $25 on Amazon right now. If you actually use your knives like on a farm, homestead, at work, and you're actually a user, and you have the opportunity to pick one of these up for under $25 on Amazon right now, and you don't do it, you are missing out. When they're at their normal price, like $50 around there, this is still a very nice knife. At $25, it's a freaking steal, man. It's a freaking steal. You need to go get you one. The Verdict is a badass knife. So, how I would do this. This is number 1, 3, and 2. I would actually put this as, I'm not going to actually, place the wild cards, but, or the wild cards. But how I'm going to do it on this one, just to give you an idea of how good this is, if this knife was in the 8, this would have been number 2. I would have took this over the Flavorist. It's that good. And it's only like 2 1/4 ounces, something like that. Super duper lightweight. Anyways, that's my top 3 and a wild card. And that is one hell of a good wild card. So, the next video, I'll do 8 more with 1 more wild card, and then once we've got that, we're going to take the 3 number 1s, and we're going to put them together and see what comes out on top. Any one of these knives will make a fantastic work knife for you. You can't go wrong with any of them. If I had to take one out, it would probably be this one. But that's not to say this isn't a good knife. It is. That hump just very much bothers me. If that wasn't there, it would change things up a little bit. But anyways, any one of these 9 knives will make you a great knife. Any one of them can be picked up for a very good price, very fair price. They're going to provide you with excellent performance. They're going to last a long time for you. And they're going to do the job that you ask of them. pick the knife that suits your needs the best as far as blade shape, and what looks like it would be comfortable in your hand. And I guarantee you, if it's one of these, you can't go wrong. You will like any of them. Again, with the caveat of this hump, you might not like that, but any of the other knives, let's just move this one. Any of these knives right here will make you a fantastic work knife, I guarantee it. And can be picked up from extremely low cost to, $60. Alright guys, thank y'all for hanging out with me. I hope y'all enjoyed this. I'm trying to make better content. I'm getting a little less nervous when talking to the camera and everything, and I'm going to start making y'all better content. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I do want to grow this channel. If y'all would like, subscribe, share, I would really greatly appreciate it. I may throw a few links for these down in the description. If you want to use them, you can. I'll get a few cents for your link clicks. If not, no problemo. Y'all have a good night, and I will talk to y'all later.